Huh. Okay. Everybody, check this out. I'm gonna close this down, but I'm starting StreamYard. So everybody, I already started StreamYard. So um, and the video's up already. So yeah, here is the link. All right, hip hop. Can everybody switch over to why are you leaving? PDF? Oh, okay. I got you. Right on.
Oh shit! I thought it was sending me to the page. Sent me
Uh,
straight to the
uh,
thing. If everybody clicks on that link, we're gonna be a bunch of us in here.
cool. I
How
would
you
love
doing?
that. I would not complain at all. So what's going on with you?
Nothing. Just sitting around waiting on that Trump money. Hook a brother up now. Give to the needy, not the greedy.
Oh man. So
I mean,
let me know how that works for you.
all right. Papa needs a new set of shoes for the truck. Yeah.
uh, Papa need a brand new bag, huh?
Papa need a brand new bag. Hey, he want to give us 2 grand. They only want to give us 600. I'm like, hell yeah, go Trump. Give up 2 grand on the way out the door. Might well.
Shit, you know what, man? I didn't even get the first one. I figured, well, I lived without it before it started, and I can live without it at the end.
Yeah.
Uh,
James Doe's here. James Doe. Morning, guys. In the private chat. Is he trying to come up? You trying to come up? Is he in the basement?
hold on. Yep, he is.
Come on up. There he is.
James Doe.
What's happening, James? Yeah,
Every,
shoot.
hold on for 1 second. I still got the other one open. Sci-fi, James. I mean, not James. Hip hop. All the people that are in this channel, come on over to the other one because I am in visitors. Hip hop. Come on over to the other one because that's the one that's open. I'll put the link back in again.
Oh, yeah. So you got another one opened up. I see it.
Yeah, I got two. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that one down, and then everybody can switch over to that one so we can all chat and be happy. Um, Mess with PDF, wherever floats your boat. And if you don't mess with PDF, I will. Ain't that right, PDF?
I mean, I was I was checking out your other page. I was still on your other page.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I was on your other page still. I just had to shut it down and switch over to your new live and left a comment, hit the like button, and came back.
the reason why I did that because
You had people in both live screens.
what's his name? Who was it? Oh, it was James. Tried to he wanted me to check out a video, but I couldn't do it off of YouTube, so I had to switch over to this. James, are you there? Can you walk? Can you put the link up? Can you say fuck the police? I can.
Hey, you see, I just put a video up today in Oregon. The cop was taking favors, so to speak. You know what I mean? When he'd pull girls over, he would take favors and do favors.
Surprise me.
So he quit his job, of course. You know what I mean? He quit his job and walked away.
Yeah.
Well, now the Oregon Bar Association has accepted him into be an attorney now. He's a lawyer. He's a changed man. He's not the same guy he was.
Oh, wow.
Now he's a lawyer instead of a cop.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So now they don't only just go from police station to police station, they can go from police station to attorney now.
Wow. I wish we can do that.
I wonder what kind of cases he'll take.
I don't know. Probably the ones that you have to blow them to get them to take your case.
I don't know.
You know that saying, right? It's not
he put a link in the chat.
It's not
What's
who
that?
you know, it's who you blow.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the way this one officer around here got all his raises, so I was told. But I told everybody that's what was told about him. Everybody around here knows that story about him, or at least that's what it's alleged. That's what he did when he was a young piece of shit. Yeah, James put a link in there.
Yep.
I don't know how to do anything, so if you need me to help you, we're in trouble.
Hi, Janet. Oh my God. Janet is one of the people that
Hello, Janet.
she goes out and feeds the homeless.
Maybe Janet will come up on the panel.
Yeah, come on up, Janet. She feeds the homeless on every Sunday, and that to me is so cool.
If you don't know who Janet is, we're going to tar and feather you now. So that's all I got to say. You don't know who Janet is, you better run and hide.
Right? Or you've been living under a rock or something.
Hey, you better get out from under that rock. Don't worry, she'll give you something to eat. Come on over. You need a coach. She probably got one of them too.
Janet, come on up.
There ain't very many people that can say they've done what she's done. That's for sure.
No. That is true. Yeah.
Look what they've done for me, the people out here that I don't even know. I'm amazed. It's like a family out here more than it is a community. It's more like a family.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put your foot in your family's ass too. You know that, right?
Yep.
Every once in a while, I need a good swift kick in the ass.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, I can't hear you, James.
Maybe you go out and come back in. Did you put a link to the StreamYards in the chat?
No, I'm trying to get that up right now on YouTube. Hold on for 1 second.
Way ahead of me. I have no clue what you're doing. So
I ain't sitting here with my thumb up my ass. Hold
I'm
on
glad.
for 1 second.
If you are, we don't want to know about it. That's TMI. Too much information.
Hi, Spot Check. How you doing?
What you doing, sir?
I ain't sitting here with my thumb up my ass. Damn it. Okay, there we go. All right, here's the link. Hi again, Morbid.
No way, Morbid Angel. Hello, Morbid Angel.
Y'all come on up here. I don't bite. PDF might, but I don't.
I just nibble.
Just nibble. Well, I'm afraid. I'm more afraid of morbid weed than I am you nibbling.
As cold as it's been down here, I just want to snuggle. Stay warm.
Oh yeah, you know what, man? You've been mentioning about that. I've seen some of your videos. You've been mentioning it's cold. What is the temperature there right now?
Yeah, it's probably in the high 60s.
That's not cold.
Well, it was 28 one night, early in the morning. It dropped down to like 28 degrees.
I don't know if you can see that.
We had ice everywhere. All over the ground, there was ice on the ground, man.
Hold on for 1 second.
Hello.
Oh, we can hear you.
There you go.
Finally. Jesus.
He has nothing to do with that. There you go.
What's that? 21 degrees.
That's the current temperature.
Ooh.
And it's daylight there.
It is.
Man, you better
Brutal.
pack up and move south. That's all I can tell you. Head south. Save yourself.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm planning.
you talking about you always talking about it's cold.
Well, it was cold for that morning and the next day. And now we're back into the 50s at night and the 70s during the day. And then next week it'll drop back down. It'll rain again for about 2-3 days. And then it'll drop down and get cold again, down 32, 35 in the morning. But it's really weird because it won't get really cold till right after the sun comes up. That's when it's the coldest.
Yep.
Weird.
Yep. Pushes all the cold down.
Yeah, because it was 28 degrees, and it hasn't been this cold in like 20 years down here, man. It's been like this far south. Daytona, I think it got colder than it had been in Daytona Beach in like 20 years. But it only lasted a day or two, huh?
We got 8.6 degrees Fahrenheit here now.
8 degrees?
Yeah.
That doesn't even compute. My hard drive does not accept it.
Yep. Well, that's why I'd like to go south too, but a different south.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go south myself. I
I
think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I left Minnesota and went to go see my two aunts that live in where was it? Next to Orlando.
Yeah.
I can't think of the city. Anyways, when I left here, it was minus I think it was minus 12. So I had on like 3 layers of clothing, right? Got to Florida, and I'm just starting to rip off things, and people looking at me like, "What in the hell?" Because to me, 11, 11 minus 11 degrees compared to 65, that's a heat wave for me. you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just funny.
We only get cold for a few days, a week, and then it'll be back relatively warm again. And then we'll get a couple, 2 or 3 cold blasts throughout the winter. But
Is
the
that
rest
the
of the time,
coldest it gets there? Sorry.
oh yeah, it don't never get colder than that hardly ever. I
Right.
mean,
But you're in North Florida, right?
I'm in North Florida. You get down south, it's like 10 degrees warmer than me in Central Florida, down by Orlando.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to
Further south, 10 degrees.
I've never looked at the geographics or the temperature differences of the US that much. I'm just now figuring out that it snows in Texas and on the other side it doesn't, so interesting to see because I'm usually, I've lived up north in Jersey, that area, so it's all just 4 seasons.
Yeah, I
It's
grew up in
interesting.
Pennsylvania. I grew up York, Pennsylvania, near Baltimore and Harrisburg. When I turned 18, I said, "Fuck this! I'm out of here. I'm going to Florida. I'm sick of the cold. I'm tired of stepping on ice and falling through up to my knee in the cold ass water, filling my boot up. I was sick of that. I hated it my whole life. The day I turned 18, I was gone. They can't make me come back.
I was born and raised in Newark.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
Yep, the gasoline hub of New York City.
Yeah.
And the city of 10,000 damn toll bridge.
Oh man,
That's
dude,
no-
I hate that crossing there. All those Verrazano bridges and that, and it doesn't ever say this way to New York City. It always just says the bridges. Like everybody knows the freaking bridges that go to New York.
Oh yeah.
I've driven past 3 bridges and then come all the way from Connecticut into New York because I just couldn't find the entranceway from New Jersey to New York.
I'm talking about the toll where you got to pay to go through the toll. I mean,
yeah.
They got so many down there that I don't even see how the state of New Jersey can never go broke.
Well, it's a dying out breed. I mean, nobody wants to live there.
I used to love living there, man. I really kind of do miss it in one way or another. It's just maybe because it doesn't get below 0 down there than it does here. And I used to love going over to New York City.
Wait, it never gets below 0 in New York City?
No, I said it never gets below 0 in New Jersey.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
I've never experienced it. Maybe it has. I was young when I lived down there, so.
Shit, New Jersey freezes our asses off up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not up there, even down there, like down Ocean City, around that direction, Atlantic City. It gets cold down there.
Yeah, I've been to Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Been to Seaside Heights down in Maryland.
Yeah, I lived in Bass River, like in the middle of the forest, for 3 years, and that was all I ever lived in the U.S. And then it was gone. Out. So now I have free pick of states because I'm stateless. I can pick whichever state I want to go to now.
No,
I don't know.
do that.
I don't know which one's the worst or the best. They're all pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why I'm not coming back anytime soon. I mean, vacation, a week or 2 here, and then I'm back out because I
I heard a
don't
lot of
want.
people were moving to Tennessee, but after this week, I bet you there might be a lot of people rethinking it.
Yeah, but what was that anyway? I
I
mean,
don't know, man. Some crazy bastard
I,
was
I I saw some news guy. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna call this the weapons of mass destruction," and I'm like, "Wait! I remember Oklahoma City bombing that blew off half the fucking building." Then we look at fucking Lebanon. That was like a weapon of mass destruction. That would have taken out half of where in Nashville, if they'd parked that there. This thing literally hardly broke any windows. I mean, honestly, it broke
Yeah.
some windows on the street, but it didn't take out the next 16 blocks of, this thing was, what was this? A little bit of fertilizer? Must have been a fertilizer or something. I mean,
Oh.
or a carbide. What is that? What's that carbide
I
stuff
heard it was
called?
the guy mad at the communications building that he was parked out in front of. Maybe he wasn't getting good cell signal. I don't know.
But I mean, it's too convenient to find the guy in the car. It's like, oh, we found it. Oh, we identified it. Oh, look, he has a written notice here. It says, oh, I stayed in. It's just too kind of,
Hey,
oh, we figured it out. All right.
Hey, to be a quick conspiracy theorist, which I can go to real fast, I say the guy was dead before they parked the thing there, and they were going to use it for something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Something happened. I don't know. And somebody
Yeah.
ran.
I mean, they look, and this is the thing. You don't have cameras everywhere. And this is
No.
why they have cameras everywhere in China. So they don't have no questions. They're just like, oh, just check that camera, that camera, that camera. It just records it for, no one's constantly checking it. It only records it for later use in case something happened, But in this case, you're absolutely correct. I would agree with you that he was probably dead.
Hi, everyone.
Probably dead long before the thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought right away. The first thing I said, that dude was in there. He was in there before they parked the thing there.
Yeah, of
Something
course.
And
I mean, nobody saw. There's no evidence of anybody walking away or even nobody saw anything.
Nope.
I mean, it could have just been a milk truck. That's what the problem is with these things. These trucks are or this was an SUV, but the second one they had there, that's just your typical fucking pedo ice truck bomb thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Old UPS milk truck, or
Mhm.
that's an excuse for everything.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt here, but I have no clue what the hell y'all talking about at all.
In Tennessee,
Tennessee
an
bombing.
RV exploded
When was this?
a couple days ago.
Oh,
Christmas Day, Christmas Eve.
And a recording went off right before it exploded. The cops were called on it, and the recording about some shots were fired in the area. And when they showed up, the recording started playing in the RV saying that it was about to explode and to get back. So the people tried to run away right as it exploded.
oh wow.
They said that they found the guy's DNA on the truck within minutes of the explosion.
Oh,
They done checked and got his DNA already, man. It was quick that day, boy. I mean, it was like an hour. It was quick.
And you're gonna buy that bullshit?
It's all in the news.
No.
Mainstream media reported it.
That's what we were talking about. That it's kind of like the conspiracy behind it. That the guy was probably already dead on arrival, and that somebody just. I mean, why would you? You've driven there. You've built the bomb. You've got the IRV. Why the fuck wouldn't you just get out and run down the street? I mean, what are you going to do? You're just like, oh, it's my masterpiece. I'm going to blow up with it. What the fuck? Who does that?
I think it was at a destination somewhere else. The guy who they said they had his DNA that was in the back was probably already dead when it got parked there, and he was going to be the scapegoat. But somebody parked it there because it was probably fixing to blow and they couldn't stop it. And they jumped out and ran. But it was on its way somewhere else, I think. They're trying to say that the guy had a beef with the telephone company or something, and it was parked out in front of the telephone. AT&T's building, and he was pissed off at AT&T, and that's why he went and did that.
And apparently AT&T got like I don't know, the 5G network thingy, blah, and then all that comes in, and then
Yeah.
you lost me, you know?
Well, you know what? I guarantee you can say that guy, whoever had that damn bomb, he had more extensions than AT&T.
But have you ever heard of a bomb going off and they have a recording saying "Everybody get back, it's about to blow"?
Oh, you know what that remind me of? You ever watched
Yeah, but check this out. 2 days later, some other dude was driving down the road in a bread truck playing that same recording out of his bread truck, and they pulled him over and snatched him out of his bread truck somewhere else in Tennessee. They had the road blocked off. They had people filming it. I was watching some girl filming it, and they had to bomb the what is it, like a robot, go down there and look around. Then they had some dude in a bomb suit walk down there and open the back door and get in there and crawl around, throw a bunch of shit out. Yeah, that like 2 days after that. Who the hell gonna ride down the road playing a recording of the same shit that was just played on that one? People are insane, man. People are nuts. They wonder why the government acts the way they do. Look at all these crazy bastards out here. The government needs to act this way. I hate to tell you, but the world's lost their mind. Just saying.
Well, hey, PDF. Do you remember? And you probably remember this too, James. Though, remember Mission Impossible, the original TV show?
Yeah. I remember.
He probably put on there, this tape was self-destruct in 5 minutes. Good luck, Jim.
Yeah, start smoking. Hot gal's in here. Hello, hot gal.
Oh,
no justice. Damn, I just looked at the chat just now. Big Tim's in here. Hey, you got some good people in here.
Oh, yeah. I always do, man. Big Tim is here. One hot girl. No justice. What's up, everybody?
Hey, I've been freezing. I'm telling you, we ain't used to this. Our blood's thin when you live in Florida. Your blood thins out after you've been here.
It was.
Man, I crawl around 140-degree attics in the summertime for many, many years. Come hang out with me in the summertime. That's what I want.
It was.
Come on. Got no insulation there. Jesus, 140.
No, I got a good insulation in my house. It's insulated really well, but you have to go outside every once in a while. And that's the bad part. I mean, I keep it like 78 up in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't do it right during the day. I mean, do it. What the Mexicans do. They don't work during the day. Just like screw this.
Yeah, it's
and honestly, well.
Now they call you at like 6 o'clock in the morning. My heat won't come on. And I gotta go. You just say, well, I'll be there around 9 or 10.
What's that? Oil heaters?
Nah, most people around here got electric heat. Some people have like a gas furnace or, depending what they got, it don't really matter. But most of the people only have electric heat. That's what their AC.
These standalone heaters. I've got AC too, but
we use heat pumps. Most of us.
Oh, the ones that blow the hot air through the bottom of the.
Yeah, the Freon just flows the opposite way through the AC and have a reversing valve that changes the direction the Freon flows. Which instead of the coil getting real cold, the coil gets warm. Hot.
Oh, okay.
Freon gets hot.
Yeah, I've got these multi-function air conditioners that just go hot, cold. I don't know the technicality of it.
Well, most of your electric heaters have like that electric coil that lights up red, kind of like the oven does. The red coil.
Yeah.
Coils. That's when your electricity bill goes sky high if you have that type of electric heat.
I've got like the oil filled standalone heaters.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all keep talking. I'll be right back.
We will.
I got this little metal one that came out of campers back in the old days. It lights up like a little electric coils inside, but I just plug it in and sit it by my feet. It's kind of like a foot warmer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It's 70 degrees today, probably almost. It'll drop back down tonight to 50, and tomorrow it'll be 68. So that's our winter usually.
Yeah. No, ours is pretty cold, but I would like to go a little bit to South China or Thailand or Southeast Asia, somewhere where it's a little bit where I
I
don't.
want.
It's also
What
a
about New
close factor
Zealand?
for me.
Have you ever been to New Zealand? I've been watching New Zealand videos. That place looks amazing to me. I don't know, except for
Yeah, but
crossing the bar. Don't cross the bar unless you're on a ship.
yeah,
'Cause
but
that
New Zealand's like the end of the world, It's you're
is
like
it.
that's your bucket list of no. Flying there now is a bitch. It was a bitch before, just from the time and how many flights you need. But now it's just like shit. It would cost you like
Isn't it
$8,000,
perfect weather?
$10,000 to fly there.
Oh, really? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was
The
perfect
flights
weather.
are all canceled and international flights, and you can't just you need to get a COVID test, and you need to fly this country, fly the next country, fly the next country, and then do 2 weeks of quarantine there, and then you're allowed out. So it's
Nobody hardly around us wears masks.
well, I
Nobody
don't.
ever in Florida.
In all honesty, the mask was a thing for us in the beginning, but then they said, no, you don't have to wear the mask. Now we've got a few cases, and they just, we had one district here where they had one case, and they're like, okay, we're going to test 1.3 million people. And they did in 2 days, and they're just like, nope, everybody negative. So I'm not quite sure everybody was negative, but I mean, if they've got 2-3 people, it's pretty much zero. But yeah, it's traveling is becoming harder and more expensive,
Yeah.
and you always have to think about how you're going. It's like 2 weeks there, 2 weeks back, quarantine, and then in between, how much vacation can you really have? But back to the masks. I like here, you just wear your mask and you get in the cab, or you go into the store, you wear the mask. It's just everybody wears the mask anyway. Cold, smoggy, whatever. So everybody's used to wearing at least a face mask because of the pollution.
Right.
But plus, I mean, it used to be you'd cover up your face. They'd be like, "Oh, you can't cover up your face." Now they're asking you to cover up your face. And it's just like, please conceal your identity. I'm just like, sure, why not? I see it in a different way, I
Every
like
time I
to.
wear my mask, they get angry. I don't understand why.
I don't know. I mean, I used to wear I used to ride my bike too, and can't breathe through my nose, so I breathe through my mouth. I'd always wear a mask. Oink oink, piggy piggy oink
I
oink.
did ask the guy. He asked the one cop if he wanted one of these masks, and the cop giggled. He giggled like a little girl. He said, no. And Miles, you asked him, why not? He says, they'll make fun of me, he started saying. But I felt bad for this cop because he acted just like he was a little teenage girl the way he was giggling. I felt he was a young guy, but, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
They'll make fun of me.
Here's my new mask.
Hell no.
Oh shit, now I know which video I was watching the other day. I was watching this thing and I saw you in that mask. And I was just like, what is this? A strange channel I'm subscribed to.
That's a hell of a screenshot. You need to get us a picture of that for a screenshot.
Yeah.
Who,
That's
me?
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I just may do that.
That's how you could loosen up an audit, like get like 3 anime characters or whatever, like the Pokemon and whatever the piggy was in this, and have you stand and do like pictures in front of the police station. Like, what are you guys doing here? We're taking pictures for our new anime show, Oh, and then you get arrested, and then it's kind of like the but we're trying to just do I mean, not
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah. I was picturing the cops chasing him down the street with their billy clubs out. Him running, trying to get away. He can't see where he's going. I'm getting the video. See, that's going to be on my page, and I'm going to video this. I hope he don't run into the tree too hard that he bounces off of as he's trying to get away. You know?
Now that would be a worthwhile video too.
Yeah, I'm going to make a viral video out of this. I can't wait.
Me me going, hey, wait, I'm one of y'all.
Now you're going to have to scream the Too Tall Rob thing. I know my rights. You know how Too Tall Rob always says it? I can't say it the way he says it, but he says, I know my rights. I told him one of these days I'm going to have to try to do that for him. I got to practice how he says it, and I just can't quite get it right. I know my rights. So chasing you down. Now, see, I want to go to the lighthouse down the road from here. I want to go to this little island where there's crystal clear water, man. I got that underwater GoPro. I can take the dogs there and video them swimming in the Gulf of Mexico. I want to do some cool videos too. You know what I mean? But of course, I'm going to meet some people that probably just won't like me throughout my travels, which I'll video them too. So there's never a dull moment in Florida.
Yeah, I don't. Is that a thing that they like? I don't know. It seems to me sometimes when I watch some of these cops, it's kind of just like, oh, so you're not around here. It's just like, well, because that's how I would feel if I would go to the States. I would rent myself a car, and I would have no driver's license to Oh shit! Now I can't drive. Well, fuck it. Okay, forget my story. I don't have a driver's license, so I can't drive anywhere anyway. But yeah, it's strange that they're just like, oh, you're not from around here, blah blah blah. You're from out of state. It's just like, yes, it's the United States of America. That's how I see it, because as a U.S. citizen, that's how I see America, the United States of America. You know, every state, you're all Americans. You all abide by the same federal laws and Constitution, and that's where it ends by me. All these local laws or these state laws or all these other things that you have that are there to punish you. It's just like, all right, guys, I know the general, you know, do not kill, do not rob, you know, I've got a driver's license, or I know how to drive a car because I do have a driver's license, and it's all this talk around this bullshitting around, and just I don't get it. You know, it's just like, where are the facts? Where are the, you know, this is the problem. This is the fact. This is the ticket. Leave me alone. You know, there's all this. Oh, but don't you think this? Don't you think that? It's just like, it's not about what I think. Give me a ticket. Leave me alone. I drove too fast.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
One hot girl said, "Can you please drop your link?"
I can, but I mean, my channel's really not auditing specific. It's just I download other people's videos of people that are scamming people in the cryptocurrency. I wait until their project goes to shit, and then I upload their videos calling them shitters and scammers. So it's not really an auditing channel, but yeah, I can post it. Give me a second.
You know what I've been saying? It's kind of like they're going back to states' rights. And that's really scary to me, that the people are almost wanting it. You know, the different towns we go to, different states, the way the people act. You're, like you just said, you're not from around here, are you, boy? As they spit tobacco on you.
Yeah, it's just like, get that fucking dip out of your mouth when you're talking to me. What the fuck? Like, I mean, you know, what are you, a fucking cowboy? Get the fucking dip out of your mouth.
One tell me, boy, get your ass out of here. Who the hell do you think you are when a deputy tells you to do something, you do it? Boss Hog. You know what I mean? And that's a sheriff on the courthouse steps. That's how they treat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's like these town people in that same town bought signs from the sign maker that said, boy, get your ass out of here. You know, they don't even realize what they're doing. I mean, they're basically becoming prisoners of their own town and asking for it, because now if you're not allowed from this town, you're not allowed in this town. Well, now that just cut off a lot of money to them. They just cut their own throats. You see what I'm saying? So the people of society, the general population nowadays, they're so in fear because of what the government has instilled upon them with all the TV shows. You know, they had to make cops look good. So every show they come out with was a bunch of raping, killing, kidnapping, murdering, and all the worst things, because that's the only thing you can put out there to make a cop look good. I mean, if you throw a bank robber, we're going to go on the bank robber's side. Yeah, go bank robber. So they had, what year it was that the government told the movie theaters, you got to stop glorifying the bad guy. You got to start glorifying cops. Next thing you know, it's all raping, murdering, child molesting, kidnapping.
No, that's how it used to be with the Indians too. I mean, it's the Indians. I mean, because I have friends that are very native. They're not Native Americans, but they remember the Indians against cowboys, or however the Wild West kind of thing. They grew up with that. So, but they chose the Indian side, because they liked the culture more than the culture that the Wild West was offering, which is. Oh, the Indians, they rape women, they cut their scalps off, which they did, but that's like one tribe, or one group of Indians, which is pretty much just like the cops,
Hey, when someone pissed them off enough, that was they might do something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Indians come, you shoot 5 of them, and what the fuck do you think else you're going to do? They're going to regroup and come back and kill everybody at night. I mean, shit. It's kind of like,
you come into their house, their land. They've been hunting there for 100 years.
Yeah. Oh, let's have Thanksgiving and kill everybody the day after. It's so but it's the image that if you look at a lot of the movies and it's a lot of the stuff that happens in the U.S. is on film, and when it comes on film, it opens up everybody's imagination. Not only in the film, but in real life. I mean, what is possible? If I could spew out so many things that people be like, "Oh my God, that's so horrible." I'm just like, "Yep, I'm literally just going through the last 25 years, 30 years of American Hollywood movies." I mean, anything. You just can go through any movie and take all the hate and the killing and everything. It's just, and that's that's glorified, this how you, and I don't mean to be anti-American, but there's a lot of things like The Hurt Locker, or which was a cool movie, or you have the other one, the Kyle story, the sniper guy, but that's all kind of like, look at our hero, what he's doing to save our people in somebody else's country.
Hold on.
So you get a false narrative about a lot of stuff. Sorry.
Hold on. Hey, NC Tyrant. Bam. That's what not coming up. Anyways, what's up, NC Tyrant?
Well, hey, when they say anti-American, that's anti-American government. It's not the people. Because I don't care where you go, it's not the people. I've met people. I've been to Holland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, they still hate Americans. Back when I went in the early 90s, the people I talked to said it seemed to them like the people in Europe still have a grudge against America because they don't feel like we got into the war fast enough. But I don't think they understood that we had to build the factories to build the weapons to get into the war with before we could get into it. But either way,
but that's the 90s, right?
Well, that's when I went in the 90s, early 90s. I went to Amsterdam.
Yeah. So I mean, I was literally not even in puberty then. So a lot has changed since then. I mean, it's not so close to being after the war, 50 years. Yeah. A lot of those people they were born in the war. They might have been 40, 45, 50 years old. So they kind of still remember living in a
They were definitely the
post-war
oldest people.
Germany
Yeah.
or Europe. But nowadays it's more like Germany gets more of the blame for like still, but Second World War, that's always the cliche, without checking what has gone on in the last 70 years since then. And Europe, the same thing too. But Europe indeed has it's not united Europe. Every European country has a different language. They have a different culture. They have different things they do. Even if it's just, we eat cheese on this day. We eat pork feet on that day. But they also have different languages. So it's kind of completely different. It's like, I don't know, like Africa. Africa has completely different languages. They're not one country either. So there's a lot of different ways, different views of America, Right now, America is just a troublemaker in the world, the bully in school that no one really wants to play with, so they kind of meet outside of it.
Well, when they say America, they look at the people. They're not thinking of it as the people and the government. The government is the one, the bully.
But the same thing is for. The same thing is for China. The same thing is for India. The same thing is for Nigeria or Germany, because you only see what the government's actions are. You have to actually actively separate yourself from all this shit that you see on the news and when they say the Chinese or the Germans or the Americans. Not everybody is behind the decisions. Like the decisions that China make, you can't really blame the people. Whereas the democracy gives everybody the right. Just like, Trump won. Isn't that what you wanted? You want democracy, so you got democracy, and now 50% voted for him, and he won. The other 50% doesn't matter because they have to follow. So it's also a facade, Not everybody agrees with what Trump does, and a lot of people that would have voted Democratic candidate last time are very happy with what Trump's doing this time, while versus Republicans are just appalled by it,
Well, I care less. I mean, either way, I don't vote neither one of them because they're all liars.
Yeah. I mean, it's one national debt. Doesn't matter which president comes in. Plus, we all know the president's just a puppet. He's distracting us from what is actually happening in the background. He's the one that tweets, and you're just like, President Trump, bill passed. You missed the 3 fucking bills that passed, whereas you should have been talking to your local or state representative to make sure that he understands what you want, not the president. The president's just there to distract you.
They're standing up all over the world. The one guy we talked to from, I forget what country, he said it seemed to him that ever since the Americans started to protest and come out in the masses against the police violence, that the whole world seemed like they started coming out and standing up against it. So the people are slowly coming together and joining against the crooked governments all over the whole planet, not just here. We got people protesting. Where I watched one day, it was Berlin, had a bunch of people protesting. It was a live YouTube video. I said, then they're protesting in Berlin. Now, they were all quiet. They weren't raising hell like Americans do.
No, I mean, families, friends.
I was like, damn, Berlin.
But I mean, they also don't have, you can't go out with guns. Not everybody has a gun. You don't have gun rights in Europe as much as you do in America. The whole concept of walking into Walmart, showing them nothing and walking out with a gun and whatever, that's your freedom in some states. You don't have that in Europe. So rarely do people get shot.
I watched the metal detector dudes on YouTube that are in Germany, and they go out with metal detectors and they find the whole German soldier buried under dirt, still holding the machine gun in some cases. where the bomb, I guess, went off and the dirt just covered the soldiers and they froze one time. And some of them were in swamps. The one comment, they said they weren't even allowed to keep any of the old rusty barrels or anything they find, because in Germany, you're not allowed to have anything that has anything to do with a gun. I'm not sure, but that's what their comment was. I read it and I was like, I asked them, why aren't they allowed to keep these old rusty relics? And the guy came back and answered me and said, that's the laws in Germany. I'm like, damn, they're not even allowed to have an old rusty barrel off of something with a metal detector.
Anything that could be a part of, if you don't have, police are allowed to have it because they're trained in it, but they are also trained in it. They're not exclusively trained in it like in the US. The US, it's always like, oh, he's had gun training and, self-defense and offensive defense and, how to take a person down and all this, but he doesn't have any of the 90% other important, because not every civilian they're going to meet is somebody they have to take down. They're going to have to take down the 1 or 2%,
Hey,
but
3 days ago, the dude come walking out of his garage with his phone in his hand. And the way it looked to me, he had the phone lit up, shining forward so he could see us through the garage. Because I do that the way I walk. Sometimes I'll hold the phone forward to walk. He come walking out of the garage and the cop shot and killed him. And then they let him lay there and bleed out. They didn't even try to help him. Well, they said the cop was fired because he didn't try to help the guy that he shot. He wasn't fired for shooting an unarmed guy with nothing but a phone in his hand. He was shot for not trying to help, or fired for not trying to help the guy.
Which is a good fucking point for everything, because there was just an Arbery, the black guy that was killed by those 3 white guys. There was just a new video released where they also are, where the evidence shows that none of them were there helping. The guy was still alive on the ground, and that's what they're going to get convicted of.
Because he just lay there watching it bleed out.
Yep. And that's what happens with a lot of these things. That's exactly the same thing with technically what they could get at those guys with George Floyd on it, because what happened after he was passed out, that's the whole problem. You call 911 and there's always a police that's going to come, unless you are requesting exclusively an ambulance. You have to always tell you somebody's injured, there's a huge injury, no, they're unconscious, and only then will an ambulance come out. Otherwise it will be a cop who first has to assess and investigate. And you know how cops are, they investigate as slow as fucking possible. And if somebody's fucking dying there, or has a mental illness, or has some kind of other collapse, a mental collapse, then cops are just useless for any of these situations.
Don't you think you had that backwards? They shoot first and then they investigate.
Hey,
that's what I mean. I mean, like, the person is on the ground and they're just like, okay, calm down. We'll talk to the people that are alive first and try to figure out what happened here. Oh, he's still alive. Oh, 5 minutes later, you noticed he's still alive. Do you know what 5 minutes means? When you don't have any oxygen, or 5 minutes, you're brain dead. Even no matter if you're not even shot, you just had a heart attack or something. Your heart's not moving. Your body's not getting any oxygen. You're brain dead really fucking quickly, buddy. If somebody's drowning, you don't. It's just like, oh my God, let's taser him first. Well, fuck, he's all wet. Probably got tasering him now isn't the best thing. He should be fucking pumping his lungs out of the water out of it. And this is where cops are just useless. And you see it in their attitude, in their behavior, and the way they hold themselves. If you eat fucking 12 donuts, if you don't, if you drink too much coffee, eat too many donuts, you're not a fit person to be resuscitating or giving somebody help. You're too busy digesting your fucking sugar, And if you have too much pride with it, oh, I'm not going to do this, you're not thinking right. I can't think right on sugar. If you have 2 kids, do it. Give one some good food, like just no sugar in it, and give the other one Pop-Tarts and this. You'll have that one kid up and down and this and that and screaming and crying and blah, blah, blah. The other kid will be looking at this kid going like, what the fuck, And then try to switch them around. You'll see the difference between this a high fructose corn syrup breakfast and proper fucking food. And
Hey,
that's
I
what the
did that.
cops,
I
unfortunately.
gave my friend's kid a Mountain Dew. He was like 7 or 8 years old. I never knew he had never had a Mountain Dew in his life. And he was
Yeah,
wanting
dude.
something to drink. And I was like, there's a cooler in the back seat. He got in the
Yeah.
cooler, pulled him out a Mountain Dew. It was one with sugar. It
Ding, ding,
didn't
ding,
have
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, he never shut up the 45-minute drive where we went and the 45-minute back. He
Yeah.
never shut
Yeah,
up
yeah.
the whole time. But he was bouncing
yeah.
from one side of the truck to the other. My buddy's like, man, our lady gonna
when I
kill
was
us.
when I was in high school, I used to drink those 99-cent fucking iced teas because they were cheap. 99 cents for a gallon, you know, at the Wawa. So, and I would drink these every night. But this is a time, this is like 96 to 99. They didn't write on there that it was black tea. They never wrote on there that it had caffeine. So I would drink like a half a gallon, you know, in the evening, whatever, because I wasn't drinking beer, which I should have been. But and I'd stay awake all night, and I'd get frustrated and tell myself, why the fuck can't you sleep all night? Every fucking night. And these are school nights. So I'm awake until 4 o'clock, and then I don't wake up, and then I don't go to school, and then I just miss school, and then because of fucking caffeine that's in a iced tea. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I mean, how many kids out there? And that's the thing. You've got these lemonade flavored iced tea, peach flavored iced tea, and it's cheaper than fucking water.
Yep.
And this is what you pump your kids. And it took me, almost 20 years to realize that. I'm just like, shit, you know? And now I go back, and all those iced teas have that warning on it. Contains caffeine, you know, big warning. And I'm just like, oh, wow, how times changed.
Why can you buy a giant bottle for $1 when a little bottle costs $1.99? I ain't figured that one out yet neither. You know, you can get a 2-liter bottle of soda.
Yeah.
Tiny bottle, $2.
And that whole, but that's the whole society in the US that you don't have in Europe. Like the supersize me, the free refills if you just sit in McDonald's for another, you know, the 5-pound chip bags. You know, you don't really have those. You know, the extra portion of the buffet, they eat as much as you can. It's everything in Europe is kind of like, well, we gave you a plate, and if you'd like another plate, well, buy yourself another plate, because that's, you know, there's nothing for free in Europe. In America, it's kind of like,
hey, when I went to Holland, it was so cool. We were there to smoke weed. That's what we were there for. But
well, what else would you be there for?
From coffee shop to coffee shop, we would pass these little places that there was like a building there, and it would have a bunch of long tables that would seat, you know, 20 people, whatever. And the menu was hanging there. Well, if you wanted to eat supper in that building, you could go in there and pay them for your meal. And then you came back when it was ready, and they sat you down at the table. They fed you your meal with a whole bunch of other people that you didn't know, and everybody ate, and then everybody would get up and leave. They're probably not doing that now with the beer. It was really neat, you know.
That's a live community. This is what I miss in these residential areas in America, where you drive in and every house looks the same, every lawn is trimmed to perfect, you know, but it has no culture, it has no life. It's, you know, anybody, like these little garage bars. There's a home brewer here on this street, and there's somebody there, and I can, you know, I store water or whatever, you know, things that you don't really want to drive to the supermarket real quickly for. You just can take a bike or something else, you know. I miss that integration of society. You know, that you don't just have housing complexes or just a complete area, a community that's just for housing, you know, and you have tons of those. You have them in everywhere too. But
it's a me world. It's all about me now. Nobody can.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, or where they won't allow you to put a shop. Well, this is a residential area. Yeah, but you made it a residential area. That's the cool thing about America. You have freedoms here. So change it to a fucking something else. Isn't that what America is? You have the freedom. Everything's possible. But then you go to America, everything's possible, but you got to pay money here, then you got to pay money here, then it's zoned this way, so you're never going to be able to change it, although they can change it anytime they want to.
That's
Well,
why I
so
moved from where I live. I lived somewhere for 15 years. I was the person who had the daggone. It was had to be rezoned so I could put a mobile home there. I had 6 acres, and they built this residential area behind me. And they were changing the laws to where you weren't even allowed to have a farm animal. And I'm like, and they built a school right near us, and they ruined our drinking water. And it was like, you know what? I can't do this. So I can't live. I had cows and pigs and chickens and peacocks and guinea hens, and they were making laws. I wasn't allowed to have no farm animals. I had like 15 dogs. They were saying I wasn't allowed to have a certain amount of dogs. I had to get a hunting license to hunt dogs just because you were allowed to have as many hunting dogs as you wanted. So you had to bypass their law. It's all bullshit, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done. Then the businesses fell. In 2008, we lost everything. I was like, fuck this. I bought this place up here. I got 4 acres in North Florida, and it was 35,000. And, you know, I got a wore out mobile home on it, but I can fix anything that needs fixed, working on the roof and the floors now. But that's my second time around. But either way, you know, it's like, I was done with the society, the city, the cars, the traffic, all the neighbors complaining, you know, horns blowing, sirens burning. It got crazy. When I first moved there, I was in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't nobody around me. Next thing you know, 15 years later,
this is the place.
surrounded by people that are making new rules and laws and telling me I have to go by their rules and laws because they just moved in there and they decided what they wanted was more important than me because I'd been there 15 years. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of the reasons I left was because I just can't do people too much. You know what I mean? They hear it.
That's why I left the U.S. because everybody understands my language.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a crazy world. So I just video now everything. I document it. People say, "Oh, you're crazy. You don't think you can change anything?" I said, "Nope, I really don't. But I can document it. That's all I can do. For maybe the future will get to see what we went through. Because it ain't changing nothing. Look how many years we've been filming cops. And these cops are still doing the exact damn thing every single freaking day. What's changed?
nothing.
The only thing that's changed is that we can document it now and film it. I mean, I can't and I won't.
But now they're changing the laws where you can't go in a courthouse. You can't go into this. You can't do this. They're going to keep trying to change the laws, taking away your rights. It's like a giant rock of freedom, and they've been chipping away at it for how many? 250 years. And there's a little pebble left, but they're still chipping away, trying to take your rights away. And they're going to get them one little chip at a time.
Yep.
And you get one, and they're gone. Our freedom's already gone.
France was just demonstrating about the new bill that made it illegal to film police while they're in their duties, which is exactly the complete opposite of what the Supreme Court's judgment on public photography was in the U.S. So this is in France, you know, and they're just like, well, you can get punished for well, it's illegal, so it would make it a misdemeanor or something to photographer to take pictures of police while they're in their duties. So that's why they had a big protest the other couple weeks ago, which is another bill kind of thing. Which I mean, you're all protesting this, blah blah blah. The new president, who am I going to vote for? And what are they doing in the background? Passing bills that you should be vetoing. You should be going to talking to your people, your politicians for, which you don't really want to talk to anyway. You know, it makes it. They suck your attention away, and then
I know a very well-respected, influential attorney, and I talked to him as a friend a lot. And he told me, shoot, the first time I got assaulted by the damn cop on the sidewalk and he violated my rights, he said he probably ain't never going to fight another civil rights case. He's about to retire anyhow, but he's a multimillionaire. He said, because the government won't even let you fight them no more. They just won't. They won't let you take them to the higher courts. They'll kick them back to the lower courts and say, you got to fight it there in that court, which the payout is like, you know, for a guy that they beat his eyeball out of his head and the maximum payout is going to be $250,000. Well, that's nothing. That ain't even going to cover his damn doctor bill. You know,
Yeah.
but they won't let them take it to the higher court and sue the entire state or the sheriff's department. Or go
Yeah,
sue the deputy. Don't sue the sheriff. We're not giving you the permission.
you have to get it in front of a jury, and then you have to get something against the judge that would declare them not trustworthy or find them giving benefit to, and then you could, after you have the judgment from the district court or whatever it is, then you can go higher to the Supreme Court, escalated.
Oh,
Having
it's all out of
but
control now. The system's
exactly,
gone.
it's a
out of
Ponzi scheme. It's literally a Ponzi scheme. The police are the promoters that get you into it, and then it's literally, what package are you going to take? Are you going to take the guilty package? Are you going to take the guilty with explanation package? Are you going to take the innocent package? Or are we going to take this, or are we just going to retaliate differently? I mean, and that's the whole problem. You never know what's next. Somebody's going to be knocking at your door, hitting up your girlfriend or something. You can't trust them anymore.
The story I was reading this morning, the cop, he was taking favors from the ladies he would pull over to cut them deals. And he got in trouble. He quit his job. Now he's an attorney in Oregon. They accepted him into the Bar Association. But the funniest part was the majority of the people voted to not let him get his damn license as an attorney. But 3 of them decided, well, they're going to let him have his license on a temporary basis. So for 4 years, he has to report to somebody. And I don't know what he's got to do. Say he hasn't abused women. I don't know. But now they say he's a changed man. He's not the same guy he was when he wore a badge. Now he's going to stand up for the people of the community.
He's a higher ranking Ponzi promoter. Now he's a Ponzi elite promoter. Literally,
Go from a crooked ass cop, a sexual deviant, to an attorney. To a fucking lawyer. Oh man, you can't make this.
I don't get it.
Because they're all trustworthy. They all trust each other. That's the trust verification process for anybody. You go to the police, boom, you got a little bit. If you didn't kill anybody or weren't found guilty or weren't caught doing any shady shit, then you can move up. And that's the thing. And you move up from the fine blue line to the suit line, and then to the untouchable line.
They sure work hard to protect their kitty diddlers. Just saying, they work double time to protect them.
Oh yeah,
they'll do everything in the world to try to make sure they're found not guilty.
Yeah. And then you should listen to them, how often they say, hey, I'm here for my safety. It's just like, if you were here for your safety, you'd be in your car on your microphone telling me to get out of the fucking car, motherfucker. Because that's where you are safe.
Yeah, back up with your hands in the air, walk backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, I'm going to play this video real quick. Tell me what y'all think. I find it kind of disturbing, but
thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day. Hi, ma'am. Please leave our store.
All right. Talking about sugar and Starbucks and coffee and.
Excuse me. Please step over there for me. Yeah. No, I don't. No, you need to stop. Please leave our store. Thank you. I don't need to do anything. Please leave our store. Yes, you do. That's why I took the knowledge. That's the fuck you're going through. That's the fuck. We're gonna call the cops. Call the police because they're not gonna help you, nigger. You don't need to. Have a good day. I'm gonna let your manager know, bitch. What the fuck are you gonna do? Nothing. He's a faggot and a nigger, and so are you, bitch. Have a good one. That's why we got you murdered. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You're a motherfucking faggot. Don't tell me who the fuck you are. You're a motherfucking bitch. You're a motherfucking nigger, just like that. I need you to go viral. Two ugly ass black people that nobody fucks with, bitch. Do you not see your skin? You're black. They don't have a motherfucking Native American.
Man,
It's
that was
crazy.
extreme. Was she at Dunkin' Donuts before she go into Starbucks?
The
I
thing
know
about
why.
it, the thing about it is that what pisses me off is that everybody or certain individuals say, "Oh, there's no racism," you know.
Because she's black. What? She's fucking what? She's
You
just
know, I think that's more.
disgusting, dude.
Hey, you know what? I think that's more. I would think that would be less racism and more hate speech. Think about that, because she's probably really not, maybe not actually racist, but that was using that word as a hate thing, a hate speech to me. You know what I mean? It seems like she was using it more for hate than she was for just hating someone because of their color. Because the lady looks Spanish. I mean, I was saying
Yeah,
that.
something like that. But I mean, you can't. What the fuck is her? See, and this is what I mean with like balance thing, because that if put a uniform on her and then a guy with a camera on the side of the street, and
Yeah.
you've literally got a fucking cop right
Yep.
there. What are you doing? Filming our thing. Blah 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 blah. Put a uniform on that bitch. You know,
Yeah, she's
and take out the other words or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you can find a cop that's would also, you know, use that language in a certain, you know.
Oh,
But I mean, Mexicans call themselves that all the time anyway. So for them, it's kind of like, well, I'm Mexicans or South Americans, you know, not only Mexicans,
I've never heard it.
Ecuadorians, El Salvadorians, among each other.
Yeah, I've never heard
You
any
know?
of my Spanish friends, you know, use the N word. Where I've heard a lot of my white friends or acquaintances, not really friends, but
It's
I've
more
heard
of
that.
a like, hey, what's up? You know, what's up, my bro? You know, and instead of saying bro, they just like, whatever.
but see, here's the deal. Now, down south, they will call you a nigger right to your face.
And behind
Minnesota,
your back, they'll do it behind your back too, Blood. I'll watch them. Believe me.
oh
Trust
yeah,
me.
well yeah.
I'm one there watching them.
Here in Minnesota, they call it they call it Minnesota niceness, and so you know, racism still happens, whether you want to believe it doesn't or does, or whether you believe it happens or don't happen. It happens.
Hey,
And,
I'll tell you what, though, check it out. They got a racism for black people. They're calling people WYT.
WY.
Whitey.
Oh.
So I've had some of my friends, because I have a lot of black relatives. You know, they're my direct relative. I'm the uncle, and I'm Uncle Bill. But either way, I go on their pages, and then sometimes they'll say, "What's a YT?" Well, they say, "What's a WYT doing here?" And they'll say, "That's my Uncle Bill." They'll say, "That's my Uncle Bill." What's a whitey doing in here? so I see both sides. You know what I mean? I see both sides.
what's up,
Dude,
Jason?
I have that too. Sometimes in
It's
chats,
funny,
I'll be
though.
like
I
in
don't get
African
angry.
things.
I don't get angry about it. I laugh. I think it's kind of funny because.
Well, you know what? I don't find it funny, but what I do find funny is that the people who keep their head in the sand and say that racism don't happen,
No, it does. I think it does for sure.
that's what I find funny, because when you keep your head in the sand long enough and you're only able to see what you want to see that's in front of you and not look on the sides.
Well, here's what some people just say. Well, I've grown up and I've never seen any racism. And I'd be like, well, how many black people was in your town? They'd be like, none. Wait a minute, hold the phone. How the hell? What the fuck, man? I'm just a dumbass. What do I know? I'm just saying. That's what I hear. And I'm standing there shaking my head thinking,
Or
what?
or you go to the junkyard and it's just like one white guy, everybody else there's black, and they're just like, oh, they're not those kind of guys, and it's just like, but you're using the word with them. And it's just like, yeah, it's normal around here. I'm just like, okay, whatever's normal to you, you know.
See, I don't like that word being normalized. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
me-
I gotta say, in different situations, like if you're into hip hop, and I'd be very interested in opening a hip hop KTV, you know, where people can go in a little booth and pick their song and sing to it and blah. And I find that actually great because it's just you want to have the originality of the song and the feeling of it and just how it just works. But in general, yeah, it's when you have to think about, can I say it now in the context of a conversation? Is it okay to say it? And then,
Yes.
should I just skip over to the other word where we just put the N in front of, you know, a word, and we'll just say the N word? But I mean, it's literally like saying the same thing. You're just making an excuse for it. So
I'm just saying, normalized for me, I couldn't. I mean, for people in certain classes of stages of life, and like you said, the hip hop world.
yeah.
For me, for my age, there's no way I could ever normalize that word and use that in everyday life. I just couldn't see it ever be normalized for me. You know, I mean, I'm 58, dude. I mean, why would I ever want to start using that word now? I've never used it my whole life.
Well, also in a conversation, you try to reduce the amount of words that you say. Instead of me standing here, well, the fucking thing and the fucking that and that asshole and that Pete and that, you know, it's you know all these words and we're not getting anywhere in the conversation. So, you know, it's and technically you don't need it. If I'm angry, I'll use words. If I'll use words that I want to, if I want to and I feel like I need to when I'm alone. You know, I'll scream and shout and say whatever the fuck I want to because, you know, that's me and whatever I want to do. You know, not saying that I go off on an autistic or what is that where you swear out, and that's not autistic, where you swear out you know, just those words that cunt. Hi, I want to have a cunt fuck. You know, those people. It's not like, you know, you can control the language you have, and when you want to have a good conversation with people, you don't always have to.
Hey, she told me it's Tourette's. She's
Tourette's. Yeah.
She's like a human encyclopedia. I'm telling you, she knows everything. I asked her anything, she's got the answers, especially when it comes to math or spelling.
Who's that?
My wife.
Oh.
She's like
shit. You have a wife? I thought you were a loner.
I'm lying. We're not married, but we've been together 40 years, so you know we're kind of stuck together.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, we have critters. We can't leave because of the dogs. You know what I mean? So
you can take the dogs with you. I got 4 dogs, and I need to get rid of 3 of them at least.
We couldn't split them up. Did you see my dogs? Could you imagine them not living together?
Well, no, I've got a couple like that we picked off the street and been nurturing for the last 3-4 months, but I need to wait until the big Chinese festival goes by, and then I can start giving them away to people.
After they eat their dogs for the year.
No, it's kind of like, we're going home for Chinese New Year. Oh, what do we do with the dog? Door open, dog out, door closed, bye. And you know, it's when you don't think ahead too much. A lot of people don't think ahead, you know, a year. They think ahead 3 weeks. So it's all a in the moment thing. But I mean, my grandma used to pick up dogs from the side of the road all the time, you know, in the U.S. So it's not anything, you know, what used to be, you know. So
I do it all the time. I found one the other day standing in the middle of the road with semis trying to run it over, and shit. I had to stop and load the dog up. And luckily, I found his home.
my mom's house was infested with, or her cats, and then I ended up calling animal control. We got 28 cats out of her house.
Damn.
So
I got 10
and
here now.
I got all the shit out and all the piss out, and it was a pretty. It was the end of it, So,
Situation.
but I had no other choice. I mean, 28 cats right around this time is where I was just like, I had 4 traps going a day trying to get these cats out of there,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hey, I got 10. I've got them all fixed, and none of these are my cat. These are fucking cats neighbors left behind, or you know what I mean. They showed up here, or they were born here because of a wild mama cat showed up and left them here. But I had them all fixed.
Yeah.
But they live a long fucking time. What the hell am I going to do with 10 fucking cats? You know what I mean? They could be around here for a long. They might outlive me.
Yeah. Well, that's the only worry that I'm in right now. It's just like I'd like to move somewhere, and I've got this huge dog, and he's very particular. I don't want to say autistic, but let's say antisocial. So he's not very good unless you give him a fucking shot, put him down for 12 hours, and then move him around. But it's a 100-pound dog, so yeah.
What kind of dog?
Malamute.
No way.
Alaskan. So, and he's a little bit touchy, you touch him somewhere wrong, you might get he might bite you like he wants you to stop touching him, so.
Sound like you got some serious wolf right there.
He's bitten me twice. He's bitten my girlfriend twice. He's bitten other people where I've been like, oh, please don't call the cops. They're just going to put him down.
I had a 160-pound Alaskan timber wolf, basically a Malamute. And he was an Alaskan timber wolf. And I used to tell everybody, he's not a dog. He's a wolf. You guys don't.
Yeah.
He was he didn't like humans. He wouldn't even come near you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you couldn't force him out the door, like a dog, could get the hell out and open the door and put him in the ass. He's going to run out the door. You tried that shit with that wolf dog, he'll teach you respect real quick. You turn around and have your mouth. You know what I mean? He'll bust your ass. You have to ask him, put the leash on him, walk him, talking to him, treat him like a man, and walk him outside, because he was more than a man. He was 160 fucking pounds. He would fuck you up. But I had him for like 15 years. I got pictures of him on my one page, my Facebook page. I think I got a video of me pulling the hair off of him. Holy shit, he used to shed. I used to pull giant handfuls of hair off his undercoat.
I trim him with I wish I had a sheep shear, because fuck, man, it takes me about a month every day, 2 hours to comb and brush and trim off, then brush, then and he doesn't stand still. So if I want to trim his ass, I'm literally running after. I'll give him like a bone or something. He'll eat the bone, and I'm in the back trying to shave his ass, because otherwise he won't. It's like me trying to shave anybody's ass. They'd be like, "The fuck you doing?"
I know the hair. The hair never stops, man. They got that undercoat. It comes out,
and sometimes it gets to the point where it's just like, okay, you need to go put him down for 2 hours and just take your time to shave all that ass hair off, and then when the shit gets started. Oh man, I mean, these dogs aren't fun. It's just like, okay, buddy, we're going to get you put down.
As soon as you said Malamute, I started thinking about my video I got about shedding the wolf. I would sit there and literally pull giant basketball pile sizes of hair. It was undercoat. The undercoat is what I was pulling out. His outer coat was still there.
I can't even get to his undercoat unless I trim off his overcoat, because it's just so thick it won't let me. It'll press down, and the brush won't even reach it. So
I use my fingers. If you go to my video, wolf shedding, you can see me just pulling handfuls with my fingers of undercoat. I just sit there and just slowly start scratching him and pulling. Every once in a while, I try to bite.
I have to give him a shower with special dog conditioner, so that these hairs even decide to become pliable. And I mean, he doesn't like to shower either. Believe me.
No.
You know.
Hey, how did he be cutting toenails? I used to have to chain mine up with his head against a tree and throw a blanket over his head to keep him getting bit when I cut his toenails.
I don't cut anything.
Yeah,
That part he needs to take care of. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, this one, he had them dew claws on the back, and they would grow in a circle to where they would actually almost do the curlicue thing.
Oh, yeah. In the higher ones?
He had like on the back, you know how you have them little dew claws? He had two dew claws. He had 2 dew claws on the back on each foot, and then on the front he had dew claws too. But he had double dew claws on the back feet.
Mine's got I don't know, front and back.
Yeah.
He's got something on the front too, but he that's his deal. So I don't touch his back legs. I don't touch his front legs if I don't need to. You know, back legs is really bad because that's where the dick is. You know, he's half puppy, half wolf. You know, he's he's not like he's like an autistic 13-year-old, but then he's also like a big fucking adult.
He's not a
weapon,
domesticated.
you know?
He's not a domesticated dog. He's a wolf.
No.
And they're different.
Yeah.
They don't act the same.
Yeah, I always tell my friends, it's like, put your hands up, don't look at the dog, just, you know, be happy, don't make eye contact. If he jumps on you, just kind of, you know, twist and turn yourself around and go inside, you know. So
if somebody had a dog that would growl at this dog, I don't care if it was a Chihuahua or what it was. He'd walk away from it, but just give him a few seconds. He would sneak around you and come up behind you. And if you was holding the dog, he'd jump up in the air and bite that fucking dog for growling at him. He didn't like nobody growling at him. So as soon as someone's dog growled at him, I knew I had to get a hold of him and try to put him up real quick. But he would try to avoid me then because he knew. Oh, he was a cool dude, man. I'll tell you, we rescued this guy from out of a cage at 5 years old. The guy says, "Do you want this giant dog?" And then he brought him over to me, and I was like, found out later he was an Alaskan timber wolf, 160 pounds. And here I am, got him in my living room trying to domesticate him.
Yeah, you have to treat him more like that son that just you can't kick out, you know? It's just no, Dad, I'm not leaving. I'm 26 years old. Okay, I guess you can stay, you know? But I can't get a job.
This has been. Oh, wait. There you go.
What?
A visitor says, my sister had a wolf hybrid. Her husband
was not friendly. Huge beast and was not friendly. Sounds like
Michigan. Michigan to Texas. It was one huge beast and was not friendly. Laugh out loud.
Yeah. Well, they usually like the guy that feeds them. That's one good thing.
Yeah. That's. I was just going to say that because I can be laying in my bed and I'll call him over, you know, puppy, and you know he'll know to get up on the bed and kind of lay in front of me, and then I can kind of, you know, do a full two-handed massage and scrubbing, which is what he wants, rather than you know, or you know. I get a little bit tired, blah, 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 and then I fall asleep, and then he's there. So it's a kind of him and me time versus where the other dogs are just all over the place all the time, jumping, pissing him off, pissing me off. Is you know, but like if my girlfriend's in bed with me, he'll be careful as much as he can, obviously, when he comes into bed. But if he's in bed with me and my girlfriend comes in, not a good idea, because then it's like his territory, my territory, and she's invading, you know. When he invades, he's kind of like, oh, I'll just lay here, and then if it gets too, you know, when I feel like this could go wrong very quickly. I kind of just get up and leave him there with my girl, so that's fine. That works out usually. So it's a fragile kind of like, I can do what I want and I know what my limits are, what to do, what not to do. As soon as food is on the ground, hands up. If something accidentally falls on the ground that's not food, don't fucking go for it. It's let him figure out that it's a lighter and he doesn't want to eat it. And when he's walked away, then you can grab your lighter. If it falls out, I've had that before. I've given him food and my lighter fell out of the pocket. Or my girlfriend has done something like that. She dropped something out of a cup while she gave him food, or and it's those things where it's just like, if it's on the floor, leave it, let it go. I've even had him growl at me, like I'll give him one scoop of food, put it in his bowl, and then I take the next scoop to put it in his bowl, and he's about to fucking bite me because he's just like, why are you going closer to my food bowl? So it's different things.
Flip a food bowl. If there's like a little bit of food at the bottom of the bowl, he'd walk over there and bark at the bowl. Then he'd take his foot and just smack the bowl and it'd spin around in the air and food would fly all over the kitchen. He'd be like looking at it, like, fill up the bowl, damn it. Then you had to go out there and fill the bowl, sweep the floor.
That's why the food bowl's outside, because he takes a mouthful, drops half of it all over the place. I don't do that indoor feeding anymore. It's all outdoor.
I used to have a bunch of Rhodesian Ridgebacks, the African lion hounds.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
I had a pile of them. I used to have 2 AKC registered Ridgebacks. Mine were huge. My male was like 150 pounds and my female was like 130. So we had some big old Ridgebacks.
Yeah, those were the dogs that were in style before these Japanese Inuyoshi or whatever they're called, the Putin dogs that they have now, right? I think it was.
These has come from Africa. They used them.
Yeah.
Bay lions.
They have the stripe around in the back.
Yeah, the hair actually faces the opposite way down the middle of their back.
The
hair actually faces forward instead of backwards. That little ridge area. But yeah, they don't play. They're serious dogs. They don't bark.
Yeah.
They just attack. They don't make no noise. They just start biting.
I don't like dogs barking, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I liked them. They'd never bark. I mean, they'd have a hold of one of your friends in the yard, but you'd never hear them bark.
Yeah. I mean, mine barks when somebody's at the door. So, or something like that. If there's a knock on the door, he'll be tearing down the door. But other than that, he's not really a barker. He's only learned to bark while other dogs copying them, scratching on the door. He copies from other dogs. He didn't learn that from me, like another crap dog comes by and he's like, crack, 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 crack. My dog's like, oh wow, this is interesting. Freaking, I have to pay for a new door every place I move to. Scratches and shit. Oh man. I just moved into a new place here.
I said, no, I had like 15 dogs. I said, the reason I got so many dogs, if somebody sneaks in the house, they'll fall over one before they'll ever get to me, and then I'll hear them.
Oh, yeah.
Because mine all be asleep. Bunch of old hound dogs.
If somebody comes in here, there's 4 dogs coming at you, and they will not stop. They'll go right at you.
If I'm here, not so much. They'll bark and raise hell. But if I'm not here and the dogs are home and my girl's here, oh, they'd be hell to pay if somebody came here. These 2 white wolf dogs I got, they're white shepherd, but all dogs have wolves in them. So these are kind of like, I call them white shepherds. They've got a lot of wolf in them, put it that way.
I got 2. They got more wiener dog in them.
Well, if you wake up the Chihuahua, he's going to start barking and wake up the 2 big dogs. Well, then you're going to be in trouble because they're going to be pissed somebody woke them up.
I don't think I can go as small as a Chihuahua.
We found this one at a truck stop, man. We were in the middle of nowhere, Alligator Alley. Nothing but boa constrictors and pythons and alligators around us. And a little chihuahua sitting there under the guy that works there's car. Not another car in the parking lot. 40 miles of sugarcane fields in both directions and canals, swamps. I mean, what was he going to do? So he rode with us, you know. Been with us ever since.
See that it's a Paris Hilton dog, is what it is. Somebody bought it so it would fit in their freaking purse, and then it's just like, well, it's either my phone or the dog, which is going to fit in my purse now. Well, I'll leave the dog at the gas station here. Boom, gone. You know.
He's a weirdo. He tries to jump out the cars. I think he jumped out of somebody's window, and they left without him. But we put up signs,
maybe.
advertisements, and everybody wanted him, but no one could say he was there, so we decided to keep him. He liked riding.
What I don't understand is why would you take a dog and don't want him, you know?
To make the kid happy, or a Christmas present, or especially around this time is where a lot of dogs just,
Hey,
you know,
the idea of having
people
a
don't know
dog-
how to handle dogs.
Hey,
you know,
it's fun when they take their first shit, and then it ain't fun no more.
Yeah. I just
They
moved
got
into my new place here. It smells like piss. Like the whole place smells like fucking piss. I'm gonna have to take the whole floor up, you know. Hey, great. So I had a great heart, but now I have fucking a week's worth of work to do. You know, I mean, it smells like piss. Yeah, I can deal with it, you know, but it's these floor mats that have little holes in it. You have to take them all up, clean underneath it, wash it all up, put it down again. It's okay, but it's
Take
annoying,
baking
you know.
soda. Take baking soda. So once you get it picked up, the floor mats, whatever, picked up, take
Yeah.
baking soda, sprinkle it all around, and then get fucking apple cider vinegar or just regular vinegar and put vinegar on it. It'll kind of bubble up, foam, make a chemical reaction, whatever, but it'll fucking, the smell will be gone.
Yeah, all right.
It's
Yeah,
cheaper
luckily
than
I've got stone floors, so I don't have to, well, freaking
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, fucking
ceramic.
bacon soda. That's how we get the smell of the skunk off our dog. We put baking soda all over him and then pour vinegar on him, and it bubbles all up, and the smell's
Oh
gone.
man, skunk would
The
at
bad
least be
part-
a little bit of a change.
Yeah,
I
well, it
haven't
pretty
smelled
much
skunk
gets the
in 20
smell off
years.
their body, but their face, you can't get it off their face, and that's usually where they get sprayed. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
special treat for them.
They stay
I'd be
outside
actually,
for 2 fucking weeks, man.
I'd be happy if mine would get sprayed in the face by a skunk once in a while, just to teach them a fucking lesson.
Yeah,
Anyway,
mine think they're cats, I think, and they go chase them. I mean, I got 10 cats, but if you're not one of the clan around here, they got their little pack. You know what I mean? It's like they know who's part of the pack, and if you're not one of them pack cats, boy, the chase is on.
oh,
And then they find
yeah,
a skunk.
dude, I need my dog on a leash. I mean, I live in a little community. I used to have a farm. Open up the door, boom, just go out. You know, there was a wall around it. I don't know how big it was. Maybe an acre, 2, something like that. Nothing too big, but enough for them to run around. Now it's kind of like I live in a residential area. So, and everybody has a dog. You take your dog out. My dog's just like, run after that one. Run after that one. Ah! So, oh man. And if he's if he'd be off the leash, he'd be gone. I don't know where that small dog would run to, but
I don't know where mine go. If I let them both out at exactly the same time, they run off for 4, 6, 8 hours later. They come back. I have no idea where they go. Somewhere in the woods.
Right. Do you have to be worried about anybody calling? Because here they'd call and just put him down. I wouldn't see him ever again.
No, there ain't no people around here hardly. Farmer might
Okay.
want to shoot them if they was doing something stupid in the farmers' fields, maybe. But there's not really that many farmers around. Mostly
Yeah.
wood, forest.
Yeah, they've got a really strict policy here. I have to be far out of the city to have a huge dog like I have. So I have like 2
Well, there's a
apartments.
place
One's
called St. Joe's Island or something like that. I want to go film there because I was watching a video yesterday and there was dogs swimming around and I was like, wow, they can take dogs there. So I want to take my dogs over there and
Yeah.
go swim around in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe I'll
Can
put
you
the
strap-
GoPro.
Can you strap the GoPro on them?
Yeah, I got a thing I could put them, the chest mount GoPro thing. I can have a GoPro on them when they're running around
Uh,
swimming.
Cool,
Kinda
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have to wait
think
for
that's interesting. All that photography. I'm very interested in photography in general. Not too much about the audits are like the audits are like secondary. I like seeing a lot of especially the US, a lot of pictures of different states and all that kind of stuff, and the interaction obviously with police. But I like how things have developed with drone footage and live footage and GoPro footage and things where you just places you wouldn't normally get unless you had rented a helicopter or a special huge
Yeah, but
like they
what
have in
about the
National
people?
Geographic.
What about the people walking around with pig heads on? I mean, I'm just,
Pig heads. Oh, those. Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, there's so many hog videos out there already. It's there's so many more animals that need to be filmed actually, you know. It's auditing the courthouse, auditing I love seeing cops in courthouses chewing down on their gum or chewing down on their dip, and it's just like, are you out? What is this? That's like
I got sent. I got sent to a bomb plant one time, right? So I do mostly stories, and people want me to go to these places and do these places. So went to this bomb plant to do a story, and when I got there, I called the cops because they just didn't like me. But the cop got there, he come walking up, he looks up and down the road, he's like, and he had drove past us and turned around and came back. He was looking for a car, but he finally got there and he looks at us, he says, how the hell did y'all get here? This place is like in the middle of nowhere. It's like miles, like 20 miles from anywhere.
Hello, Chuck.
It was
but
fun.
that's you have a car, so I mean you can drive wherever you want to, isn't it?
There was no car anywhere. He didn't see no car coming in.
Oh.
He was wondering how the hell we got there because there was two of us standing there on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't no car around.
Okay.
Miles. He done drove around looking for a car. It's like a dead end dirt road,
Yeah,
crazy.
that's also it. That's an automatic suspicion for everybody in the US because you can't get anywhere in the US without either a bus stop being around or,
We got dropped off and they come walking down the road from the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, there we were.
yeah.
It's fun.
That's funny too. I mean, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Some of those audits where they're just like, I don't know, at some kind of little testing facility in the middle of nothing where 6 miles this way, 20 miles that way, there's nothing, and they're just like, what are you doing out here? Just like, oh, just taking pictures of this bird that I like. I saw this bird here. I'm a bird watcher. And it's like some military or I don't know, testing facility next door. And they're just like, bird watching. Yeah. I just saw this. I don't know, who was it? I think it was News Now community or the guy that he's just like, oh yeah, I'm a bird watcher, and there's a special a blue hog tied, something like, the pigtail, the blue pigtail bird that I'm trying to catch, and literally just making fun of the police. So yeah, I like photography.
If they go through life and everything's bad to them, you know what I mean? Their whole job is the aspect of it is everything's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's criminal. Everybody needs to be arrested. They're running around
feel
looking
safe amongst each other.
Well, if all they're looking for is bad their whole life, they're never going to see anything good ever. And that's the type of job they put. So how are they ever going to see anything good if they're only looking for the bad?
Yeah, well, the bad is unfortunately what pays their paycheck, and they're on unlimited overtime. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's like, well, I was off duty, but I witnessed this. Oh, thank goodness you were there, or the crime would have, or we wouldn't have caught that 13-year-old smoking weed.
So the mentality of someone that goes through life for year after year, only looking for bad, everything they look out the window, that's all they're looking for. That's going to change your psyche. Yeah, that's not, I don't care who you are before you start doing that. That's going to change who you are. It's going to change the way you think. It's going to change, and you're not going to be able to come back out of that, I don't think, once they've done it for so many years. And that's why they turn to the dark side of reality, the kitty diddlers, the drug dealer, every aspect, every law, every day a cop gets busted for doing everything. It's never
Doing
going to
exactly
stop.
what humans do. That's the problem. They pretend like they're machines, but they forget that they're just humans. They take a shit in the morning, like, proper people do, or in the evening, there are people that take shits all day long, they're out of balance. But,
Well,
they're
they have
just
mental illness.
people. Trump wipes
These
his
people,
ass too, I hope.
that's a mental illness. That's a mental illness. That's not thinking, like a psychiatrist says, every single person has a mental illness unless they are completely balanced, which no one is.
No,
It's like
no,
the
it's
way
not.
they say it is, if your emotions go up and down throughout the day, you're not perfectly balanced. Like you're supposed to go in a perfect, let's say robot, it would be basically, but you have no emotions. You're a straight line all day. If you have a heartbeat of emotions where your emotions go up and then go down below that center line and then go back up and back down, the psychiatric Bible, they have a pill for everything. So, you know what I mean? There's a pill for every single human on the world if you get out the psychiatric pill Bible. So there's a pill for everybody. Okay. So, but in reality, no one's perfect. So everybody's emotions are going to go up and down throughout the day. Well,
Yeah.
someone like them whose emotions that would have been in a normal setting, not becoming an officer, how was their emotions before they became an officer? Did their emotions really flip flop up and down extremely to far exceeding limits of emotions abilities, so to speak? And then how are their emotions later in life? There has to be a measurement how these people act, because otherwise, I mean, they don't
Yeah,
want to. They don't want to know. They wanted them to act the way they're acting. They want them to be that kind of people because that's who they train them to be. Because that's the only way to keep fear in the people.
And then you have, are they eating properly? Because as we saw in that other video, she's clearly at Starbucks, and a lot of these things happen at Starbucks. You know how much sugar and caffeine and calories and whatever the fuck else would even count fat is in one of those things. And I'm not a health guy here either. I fucking drink coffee all day long, all night long.
She jonesing for her Starbucks? She might not have gotten it yet. She was having a withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, she was having a withdrawal, and I mean, if she's having a withdrawal, and believe me, I know Starbucks coffee. My mom drank Starbucks coffee for literally, she'd import it before it was international and just, gouge it down. It becomes so addicting, and you become a different person when you're on a caffeine withdrawal, like a nicotine withdrawal. It becomes
being a Karen.
Unspoken of addiction, and that just shortly, that's kind of like where that girl loses her balance completely. And a cop can also lose his balance because they also get free coffee from whoever the fuck. Oh yeah, come here, have a free coffee and a little, and that goes unregistered.
Hey, did you hear about the coffee that the guys get? They follow the cats around. That we was over on with Spirit's page or Commander Mosevic's page the other day, and they had some people that they follow cats around and they pick the coffee out of the cat's, stool. And I'm like, they supposed to be good. Maybe they got something like that going on with Starbucks.
Oh, the coffee that's eaten by those things and then pooped out, the poop coffee?
Yeah, eaten by the cats, and they figured out it was supposed to be a good coffee. I don't know. You'd have to go ask
Did you hear about the one where they gave somebody a free coffee here's your free coffee, sir. And when the officer got in the car, he looked at it, it had like a tampon hanging in it.
Seen that. Seen that. I don't know about that. I don't think it was
No,
a
yeah,
tampon.
I think it was a tampon, but it was unclear if it was used.
Part of a filter or something. Hey, them cops be setting shit up. But the funniest one was the Molly
Anyway.
McMuffin. Did you see Molly McMuffin crying because she didn't get her McMuffin?
Molly
Did you see that?
McMuffin. No.
Yeah, you go on YouTube and type her in. Officer Molly McMuffin. It is funny as hell. She's literally crying in her cop car because her McMuffin took too long. And now she was afraid to eat her McMuffin. And she's been trying so hard, working so hard. Oh, man, she was having a damn nerve. I died laughing. So that one day
She's so
when
blonde, I don't even want to watch it. Oh my God.
I called this one officer Molly McMuffin one day down there in Mayo, Florida, when I went off and got attacked by the pizza guy. And I told her she was like Molly McMuffin. She looked just like her. It was funny as hell. But I kind of lost my cool that day a little bit. Well, I lost my cool a lot that day for about an hour, I think. I don't know.
Self-entitled little fucking white cunt. Jesus Christ. I don't even want to watch it. She's so blonde. No offense to any blonde women out there, but honestly, it's just I look at it, I'm just like,
I like blondes, I like brunettes, redheads, black hair. I like them all.
Yeah, no, I just typed in Molly McMuffin. I'm just seeing the first two videos, and I'm just like,
I would, but she won't let me. See, that's the problem.
Do I need to scoop solo? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, FDSS. I just want to chat. Chuck Bronson's in here? No freaking way. Chuck Bronson's in your room, dude.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch it. All right, maybe later.
Bubba said,
yeah, guys,
no better than a lump of wood.
Subscribe to the channel so we keep it above 1,000 subscribers.
Dangerous being prophet during times of upheaval.
Soon you'll destroy all who stand.
I hate these damn ads.
The Dark Man.
You don't have an ad blocker?
I've never actually seen that video before, but it's kind of the way things are going now. The interstate is stopped because of, I guess, a bad wreck. And so I decided to come to the McDonald's at Love's on the Ford Avenue exit. And I waited in line to get my food. I had already done my mobile order so that, you know, people don't pay for my stuff because I just always like to pay for it myself. But I'm on my way home from work. When I pull up to the window, they hand me my receipt. So I go to the second window to get my food. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And so the girl comes to the window and asks me what my order was. I repeat my order and my coffee order. And they asked me to pull up because my food's not ready. An English muffin meal with a hash brown and coffee. And I mean, I hadn't eaten since probably, but I mean, I've been
shit.
In a while, so it's kind of. And I'm still waiting, and I'm still waiting, and they asked me to pull up. So I pull up forward. I'll go home and coffee and just the coffee, and she hands it to me, and I have my window down.
Well, here she goes.
And that's all she hands me is the coffee. So I told her I sit no problem with the food because right now I'm too nervous to take it. It doesn't matter how many hours I've been up. It doesn't matter.
Get my McMuffin. I'm too nervous.
I don't know what's going on nowadays. Just give us a break. years, and I've never, ever had such anxiety about
Let it play.
so just have a heart.
She's so broken.
All I want is just my next couple days off to just be so chill. No uniform, no nothing. Just for a couple days.
Don't they have McDonald's home delivery in the U.S.?
Well, so all over. But hopefully, it goes over to you later because I just want to do something. I love you all.
I love you all.
Did you hear? Did you hear in the
She
background?
was crying.
I didn't hear nothing.
You
What was the
didn't
crying? Where did the crying, the baby crying come from? I didn't hear that before.
Florida police officers are facing scrutiny for pulling over Aramis Ayala, who happens to be
Oh,
the
wait.
first black state attorney elected.
Hey,
in
she was so upset because she didn't get her McMuffin. She had tears coming out her eyes.
Oh, that is too
She
much.
was so afraid. She was so afraid she was going to get a spiked sandwich that she was just too nervous to even eat one after they didn't get it there on time.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And I like how she lied and said she always pays for her food because she don't want nobody else to pay for it for her in line.
I mean, honestly, how many people have worked at McDonald's and know where the poison is? And who of us carries poison around with us? I mean, shit, I'd have to think a little bit to figure out what would be poisonous to somebody else.
Well, I guess they're afraid they're going to spit on their sandwich or something, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, well, there's COVID for you.
Well, if they didn't act the way they wouldn't have to worry about it, would they?
Well, yeah. I mean, plus she's off work. You know, is it even still breakfast time? I mean, it's a
talked to a
muffin,
cop.
you know.
I talked to a cop the other day in Swanee County, and he was pretty cool. He let me pet his service dog. It was a Dutch Shepherd. He was pretty cool. You know what I mean? But I was asking him, I was showing him the YouTube page and people typing. You know what I mean? He seemed pretty cool. He didn't know much about the internet. I told him maybe he should. You know, he can come out online.
You talk to a cop that doesn't know anything about the internet?
He said he ain't into social media too much, is what he said.
Yeah, but I
it
mean,
was one
social
of the
media
videos
and the
I could
internet are
see.
two different things.
Huh? He's not into social media because I was telling him he should get a YouTube page and come out there and talk to us. You know what I mean? That's the problem. They don't never want to talk to us. You know, he actually talked to me a little bit, let me pet his dog. You know what I mean? Introduced me to his dog, which I don't know if they were sniffing me or what. He might have been doing a search down, had me walk up and get a search down on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either, though, because
the
then
dog kept putting his foot on my foot, man, and sniffing me. I don't know what was going on with that dog. He was like real ready to hump me or something. I'm not sure, but maybe he was doing a sniff. I might have walked right into a setup, man, and I got patted down without even knowing it. But he did the super search for bombs and everything on my ass that day. I fell
Really?
right into the trap, man. Damn. See, I thought he was a nice guy. Yeah, see, I'm about to change the title now. Fucking gonna put something else out there.
Yeah,
Scumbag
and
scam.
that's
Getting the
the
search on the
problem.
dog. Hey, you want
That's
to pet
the
my
problem.
dog? Come on over here, you guys. Yeah, and he searches everybody. We're all walk right up to it.
He wagged his tail. He smelled something
Yeah,
on
he
you.
sat down right away too. Now that I think about it, he walked right over to me, sat down, put his foot on my foot like 3 times. I kept moving my foot. Like, why are you putting your foot on me, dude? What the fuck you doing
Yeah.
over here?
Like he's
Yeah.
got some coke in his shoes. You mind taking
Yeah.
those shoes off for me, boy?
I got my weed in that sock, man. Leave me alone. Give me away, dude. You're fucking front of the street here.
That's where your cat pissed on last night, and that's the only reason why he's tapping on it.
Yeah. That's why was he humping my leg though? I couldn't understand that.
What have you guys been doing all day before I came here? You know? Oh, man.
I'm probably gonna have to call the SPCA, man. Shit.
All right. As long as it's not an STD.
Well, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you guys for being here, man. Thank y'all for helping me get
Thanks for
1,000
having us.
back up. I appreciate it. Hip hop, good to see you again. Perf, it's good to see you.
Wow, cool.
PDF, go fuck yourself.
Hey, I probably, hey, it's mine, and I'll wash it as fast as I want to.
Man, you gotta love. I mean, you know, me and PDF, we go back and forth once in a blue moon, but you know, it's all out of fun. It is all out of fun. But thank y'all for being here, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Cheers, man. See you
All right,
later.
cheers. Thank you for being here. I'm definitely